Okay, I guess that's as far back as that's gonna get. Let me try to push this like this. Sorry about the big fat fingers in the way. Okay, anyway, hello everybody. It's the Poke Destro here. Not back with another Pokemon card opening, unfortunately. Probably not till December. Maybe I'll do something special middle of December. I'll probably have some money then. Um, but this is sort of the first steps of the generator. I've taken apart a couple of tools and have looked at generators and everything, so you can see like that's the connection in which you can spin the motor itself, and you can see all of the copper that's wound up in here inside this casing, and then that's sort of guided into these nodes right here, and this is the wheel bearing and everything. Now I want to replace the wheel bearing because it's pretty dirty and I think slightly rusted as well. So I found the parts number and I'm going to remove it. Plus, I want to hook this up and have this be a sort of beginner generator for the channel and see the power in which it can come out using a multimeter at first, and then I want to sort of get like an LCD screen or something like that to measure the output and see what it can hold as well. Um, so that should be interesting. And the generator that I want to use is coming together. It's pretty messy. These are all of the Ethernet cables that I've used, which has been like 8, 9 bundles of Ethernet cables. Are probably 8 to 10 feet long of cables stretched out completely. Now the wiring job isn't super tight, unfortunately, and that's a big deal. Is that the windings have to be super tight so that way there's no gaps in there for eddy currents that make the voltage or just the current itself drop amp and volt wise. So we don't want to have those sorts of currents. We just want to have a steady line go across in the generator. So I've got to figure a way to mount this as well, and I need all of the cables going out to one space, which I'm still trying to figure out as well. So it's not fancy. This is going to be a very rough generator, but you learn as you go, and these little moments is what's going to help me learn and hopefully get us some free energy in a way. So, as I said, I have a ton of these Ethernet bundles. I still have 6 more that are ready, and I need to cut open some more Ethernet cables as well. I think I have probably about 2 or 3 dozen more Ethernet cables ready to cut up and everything. So hopefully that'll do. And then once it's all done, maybe I'll electrical tape it or something. That's another thing I want to talk about is I'm not good at electrical at all. I understand some rudimentary electronics, and I understand a little bit about amperage and volts. Um, but I'm not an engineer. I'm not an electrical engineer, and I'm not an electrician. I can't run circuit boards. I barely understand how basic copper motors like this work with magnets. And so it's a lot of learning as I go, and I'm going to be making mistakes, and I kind of want to show those on video as well. But if these videos ever reach people that actually know what they're doing, people that are very into electricity and have made stuff like this, um, hopefully, you guys will leave comments for ideas, suggestions, things you've done, or anything. And I'm willing to take all of that and hopefully better the generator and better the idea of how to make it and what to do next. So, as of right now, I'm still winding up the core, and it has these little nodules in here. And what I want to do is basically take a pole there and secure it steady. And so this won't move. This will be in place because it has the wiring. The wiring will be taken out somewhere so it can be directed basically to an output cable, which will then go into a battery. So it'll be outputting electricity into the battery. The battery will be the storage, and then we can set up that battery like a big gas generator, essentially. Turn it on, use it, plug stuff in, and it's going to be a hand crank generator, so it's going to be a lot of back and forth motion. I want to play around with that using gear ratios as well. Using a 1 to 10 gear ratio would be great, so that way I can get the generator spinning fast with very little effort. So the main step right now is going to be figuring out how to mount this and the insides of the generator. So I'm going to need to be able to do a lot of, or I'm going to need to do a lot of manufacturing, um, and sort of fabricating as well, my own thing. And I'm thinking, I guess, starting out with wood, maybe, which I know probably isn't a good idea for, like, potential fires and everything. But I'm going to be having a cooling fan as well. Now, I know this is going to sound really like I don't know anything, but I got most of the ideas, obviously, through some YouTube videos. I've done research as well, but through ChatGPT, and like just going constantly discussing plans over and over again in repetition to make sure I have everything correctly and have all the information correct as well. So it's gonna be um, sort of all inclusive together. It's as soon as the generator turns on, the fan's also going to start moving as well, while it's also feeding the rest of the machine output into the battery, so that way we can use the battery as our electricity. So I feel like I'm just yapping a lot about something I don't know, which I am. But like I said, any ideas, any suggestions, comments, anything like that, very well appreciated, because like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. So the more the merrier. This is the PokeDastro, and this is the first stages of freedom from the electrical company here in Tennessee. So hopefully you can hear this. If not, I'm going to have to edit the video and increase the audio levels while reducing the noise. That's a whole other tangent on the side. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay frosty.